Hello and welcome to Video Revealed. I'm Colin Smith. What happens in Las Vegas doesn't always stay in Las Vegas. I wanted to create this special episode because so much has gone on in the last few weeks that my head is spinning. So let's talk a little bit about Las Vegas and NAB. NAB is the National Association of Broadcasters show. If you've never been, it's crazy. It's a giant trade show with all the latest cameras, gadgets. We're talking motion-controlled gadgets, now volumes, studio volumes, of course, all amazing software and meets and greets and people. It's days and days of walking in events. And the first thing I want to do is say thanks to all the people that reached out to me, either recognizing me or my wife and I had these cool shirts made up so that we could promote awareness for Video Revealed, walked around the show floor, and had some people come up to me, approach me and say thank you for what I do. And I want to say thank you for reaching out. I do appreciate your support. So I'm going to talk about Adobe in a second, but I also want to talk about a couple of things on the show floor that were fun. Of course, I'm a big supporter of Hollyland, and their booth was packed with excited people. Their staff was on the floor answering questions and helping out. It was electric in their booth. Of course, they have a ton of great wireless communication products, and I've got tutorials on that. The other booth that I had to go to was, of course, Dell's booth. They were showing their latest generative AI for media and entertainment. I also had a look at their monitors. More info to come on that in the future. I had a great conversation with them about what they're doing with their displays. They've got big curved displays, big 4K displays, and stuff like that. Okay, now back to Adobe. A few weeks before NAB, I was invited to San Francisco with a whole group of editors and industry leaders. And what was amazing about this is that Adobe just wanted to listen to us. They wanted to have an open forum with us, but closed from the public because they wanted to show us new and cool stuff and get our feedback. And they also wanted us to give them our wishes of things that we wish would be in Adobe software. So it was a great back and forth dialogue. It was amazing to have that. It was great for me to meet a bunch of professional editors. These are feature film, television, documentary, and visual effects people. And lots of them said they watched Video Revealed. So thanks to all of those folks. So I went there. Here's my first video of that. All right, so I'm down here at the Adobe offices in San Francisco, and where they called in a bunch of editors for a summit. We're going to talk about everything to do with Premiere Pro, Adobe, AI, and all of it. Let's go inside. So I thought I would be able to talk about stuff I saw. I couldn't. So over to NAB, same thing. There was an event it's all public now, and I'll link to their amazing generative AI video. But I went to NAB, again, to catch up with my Adobe pals. It was wonderful seeing some of the folks that I haven't seen for a few years because I haven't been to NAB. I used to work this show all the time when I worked for Adobe. But here's what I wanted to talk about. I think that if you're betting on Adobe to be the company to choose, then you've come to the right place, especially what's happened in San Francisco and at NAB. They're committed to make the best software. By the way, this is not them telling me what to say. This is my own voice. And you know I only give you the straight scoop. So this is the three most important things. They're committed to make the best software. Stability is job one. Abso-freaking-lutely. They are committed to making their software as stable as it can be. And innovation is driving their every move. Oh my God, if you haven't seen the video that I've linked with generative AI and where they're going, they're serious about that. So big announcements at NAB, Frame.io, Camera to Cloud is now in version 4 beta, which is a little bit confusing for me. I don't normally talk about beta software because in the professional world, if it ain't shipping, I ain't using it. But it's now more open that companies announce beta stuff as if they used to announce shipping stuff, and Adobe is no different. But Frame.io has gone through massive changes. This is the sharing and collaboration and way more. They've got a future for Frame.io that I'm going to probably have to take several episodes just to cover all of what that is. Of course, generative AI in Photoshop and Adobe Express, if you haven't seen that stuff, it's amazing. I'm using generative AI in image creation now because sometimes I can't find what I want online in stock. It really does help. Now, what really is amazing is all of the efforts that Adobe is putting into Premiere Pro specifically. All the things that we wanted and stuff we couldn't even imagine, like object addition, being able to add something and track it using generative AI. So this isn't just images stuff. This is not like the Firefly ChatGPT world stuff going on. This is video. Object removal, being able to remove stuff. I can't tell you how many times people have asked to remove stuff. And if you don't come from the visual effects world, if you're just a YouTuber or the only thing you ever owned is a phone, and you look at something in the background, hey, how can I remove that? Oh, you can remove that. You have to take it into After Effects, track it, and draw a new thing. Well, all of that's going away. I don't know when, but Adobe showed generative AI object removal, where you select, it recognizes, first of all, the things that you might want to remove, and then it will redraw the background over video. And all of this will be non-destructive. That's crazy. And they're also extending this to third parties, which was probably the biggest shocker for me, that it's not just Adobe's generative AI using the Firefly 3 model, but also Pika, OpenAI, and Runway AI. So you'll be able to choose the model you use for creating this. And if any generative AI takes place in an Adobe application, it gets stamped with content credentials. Adobe is one of the founding members of content credentials, so companies that want to create responsible AI are going to stamp your media that it has been edited with content credentials. That's just great for everybody. Adobe's having conversations with big media companies all the time, and we're venturing into unknown waters. Some are excited about what generative AI want, but they want responsible AI. They don't want to create a whole season of a show and then have it pulled down because of some content IP problems. Others are not even touching it right now. This is very, very new. So all of that is coming. All of that is incredible. It shows where Adobe is going. But I couldn't talk about a couple of things. I can't talk about a couple of things that aren't even public yet. But I just want to tease you with a couple of things. And one is about industry standards and being able to adopt and support industry standards. That's all I can say. That's great. The last thing I want to tease you about is color in Premiere Pro. Just a little bit of history. The Lumetri engine, the color engine, which is amazing in Premiere Pro, came from SpeedGrade. SpeedGrade was a company that product that was acquired when Adobe acquired Iridas, and it is incredible technology. At the time Adobe made that decision to simplify the color workflow, no editors were using something like Nodes and DaVinci Resolve. They weren't. Back then, Lightroom was really the gold standard for simple but powerful color creation. So Adobe adopted that and thought that would be great for editors. Well, since that time, it's a different world, and editors have no problem jumping into something more complicated. But Well, I just can't talk about things, and because it's still really early. But the great thing is, Adobe knows what you want. Adobe has listened to editors who want to have more control. Wink, wink. That's all I'm going to say. All of this should make you feel so confident that you're not going to be left behind. Instead, you're going to be on the forefront of new technology. And I have to applaud Adobe for doing this, because this is really big. It's very important for them, and they have to take careful steps when they're doing this. So I'm happy to be in the Adobe camp. I hope you're happy to be in the Adobe camp. They're going to take care of us, going to listen to us. It's so darn exciting. It's incredible. So sometimes what happens in Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas. It actually comes out, and that's what this episode was about.